Hey guys, it's EJ, and today we're looking at math with arrays in Blockpad. So first, Blockpad has a handful of basic functions that are going to be essentially the same functions that you would find in a spreadsheet that would handle table ranges. So things like max, min, or sum, in this case it's shown with the math format, sum squared, product, average. All of those are going to work the same as in a spreadsheet, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So moving on, when you use operators like multiplication, addition, subtraction with arrays in Blockpad, the first thing it's going to look to do is matrix math. In practice, the point where you really need to look out for this is with multiplication. And the thing you really just need to know is that if you're using two-dimensional arrays in Blockpad, then it's going to use matrix multiplication and not item by item multiplication. So I have this down here just kind of to point out A times B with these two-dimensional arrays. Blockpad's doing matrix multiplication on that and not item by item multiplication. So with multiplication, division, exponents, that kind of stuff, that's really just what you need to know. Now, if you want item by item multiplication, that is possible. You're just going to have to use single dimensional arrays that are in the same direction like this. So that's really the important thing to know, but I have just some things to point out here that, Blockpad will do scalar multiplication and division with matrices. We'll do matrix addition and subtraction. Blockpad will do matrix multiplication, and that goes for any matrix where the number of columns matches the number of rows, just like standard matrix multiplication rules. For the inverse, we have a function called inverse that will work. You can also raise a matrix to the -1, and that will give the inverse. And also, if you divide a matrix, Blockpad is going to treat that as multiplying it by the inverse. So here, A divided by A is A times the inverse of A, and so you get the identity matrix. In addition to that, we have a cross product and dot product for vectors, and those are going to display in math notation as you see here, but note that they are functions. And then also we have a determinant function that's going to display in math notation as well. Moving on to item by item calculations. Like I said earlier, if you have one-dimensional arrays in the same direction, then Blockpad's going to treat them as item by item calculations and not matrix math. Now, a lot of times this is what people are looking to do, so it's very important to just know that you need those single dimensional arrays in the same direction, and then that's going to work. So here, G squared is going to give you each item in G squared. It's not going to give you an error because matrix math doesn't work or something. And also G to the -1 is not the inverse, it's each item in that array to the -1. So G times H, G divided by H, all of that. So also most functions in Blockpad that expect a single value are also going to work for item by item calculations. So for example, sum or average isn't going to work as item by item. That's going to treat the array as an entire array. But something like sine or square root or log, that's going to look at each item in the array and perform that function on each item and return an array on that. So because of that, you can kind of treat single dimensional named arrays like a single value when you're actually writing your equation. And that can be a good way to think of writing out your item by item calculation. So here I just have square root of L squared plus W squared. And that's going to work the same if L and W are single values or if they are these single dimensional arrays that I have here. So that's really all I wanted to cover today about array math. I'm going to put a link in the description that will have this file, which I use to create all of the array video series. And I'm also going to put a couple other links that I hope you'll find useful. So that's it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thank you.